We'll hear more about that later on. Now, Rosco McGlashan is an absolute legend in this town, in this country, and in the realm of the holy grail of land speed records. He wants to break the big one in 2015. He wants to go to Queensland with his amazing car, or his rocket, you might call it, the Aussie Invader, and break that record of over 1,600 kilometres per hour, the old 1,000-mile mark.
Can't even fathom how fast that is.
The legend is with us from Mullaloo. Rosco McGlashan, welcome, mate.
Great to be here, you guys.
Now, you've brought with you what looks to be a rocket. Is that the car that you want to try and break the world speed land record, 1,600 kilometres per hour?
Shane, I'm not sure about trying, mate, but that's the one we're going to use to break it. Yeah, obviously that's the scale model of it, but yeah.
That is a bullet.
That's
you see
beautiful.
That?
Can we make a pen of that? That's unreal. Love it.
That
How much would one of those cost?
Well, the real one.
Yeah, the real one.
The real one, about 4.5 mil, mate.
Oh, hey.
You bucks should have that a year's pay, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that'd be right.
Shane has, yeah.
Wow.
The thing is that this is not just something that you've gone, oh, let's put this together, 4.5 mil for that car, let's do it. You've been doing this most of your life. Like, how do you continue to get that funding?
Well, I suppose, Kymba, to answer that question, darling, the funding's not there, but the thing that's most exciting for me is the thing that keeps me going day to day is that I've been doing it for so long, and what actually happens is I'm looking for a part for the car to progress to the next stage. Yeah. I pick up the telephone, I'll get on the internet, look for a company that's got the part, I ring them up, and 9 times out of 10 here in Western Australia, the CEO of that company say, oh, Rosco, I used to come down to drag racing and watch you down there, or you did a talk for us, or you did this, or you did that. What do you want? And I'll say, well, I'm chasing 10 of these, and anyhow, next thing they're delivered. There's not even a bill with it, and there never is. It's just people donate product.
That's
and,
excellent.
That's a beautiful thing.
Very exciting.
It helps also that you've got this team, and I know one of your teammates, you celebrated 30 years together recently.
30 years, yeah. Pete Taylor, he's been with me 30 years, and that's a long time. He's ex-RAFie, and I met him up the RAF many years ago, and he's been hanging around ever since.
Without pay?
Without pay. Oh, well, in 30 years, he wanted a special present. He wanted a bag of tea bags, 20s tea bags. We lashed out and got him a bag of them. And
Mate, it's in my contract that I have to bring conversations back to me.
Now, that's why he gets 4.5 million a year.
I didn't know why he kept doing it, but that explains so much.
But the fastest I've been that I can recall, and the most G's I pulled was in a jet boat racing where they do it in a foot of water, and they've got a jet on the back of them. What is the fastest you've gone on land?
1,026 kilometres an hour and about 641 miles.
And that was obviously in one of these kind of cars?
Yeah, and our previous car to this one is known as Aussie Invader 3, and it's a Mirage jet-powered car.
Describe what it feels like to be going at that speed as a human being.
Yeah, over 1,000 Ks.
Yeah, well, I suppose the big thing is if you had to try and do it somewhere where you had trees and cars and stuff going past you and stuff like that, you wouldn't do it. You'd be terrified.
Yeah.
But being out in the Salt Lake, you've got nothing around you, so all you have is a marker barrel every kilometre down the track. But the big sensation I get, which people find hard to believe, is when you stand on a salt lake, which we're not running on salt anymore, but anyhow, we used to run on salt. The Salt Lake, you look at the curvature left to right, and you can see the curvature earth, and when you look at it forward and aft, you can see it's like going over a hill. So when you get in the car and you light the wick and you pin back in the seat, and I'm probably in the past car, I'm doing 4G, pin back in the seat, my neck's bloody pin right against the back of the seat, but first couple of rides I'd do in the car, I'd get out and say, God, my bloody neck hurts, and I'd look at the onboard vision to figure out what I've done, and I'm lifting my bum out the seat, and I've got the helmet pressed right up against the top of the roll cage, because you're looking over a hill. It's a pretty unnerving sensation, but apart from that, as I say, if you had to do it somewhere where you had things around you, you'd be terrified.
Yeah.
After all those years on the Salt Lakes, mate, do you like salt? You throw a bit of extra on your food, or you hate it?
Bit of a pepper man now, myself.
Oh, right, cool. Yeah, I blame you.
You've built this car to be so safe, but obviously it is dangerous. Do you think that the older you've gotten, the less fear you have?
No, probably quite the opposite. It's one of the things that's always been hard doing what I've been doing. If you don't get a ride in a fast car for a long time, it's sort of the first time you get back in there, it's really hard. And I've been in situations where I haven't been a couple of years before I've had a ride in a pretty fast car, and I sit there and think, God, what am I doing here? It's terrifying. But particularly like things like drag racing, running jet drags and stuff like that, you're terrified for the first run, and then once you got that under your belt, you think, oh, that was bloody good. Next run, you're into it. Third run, you wish you could do it all again.
We were speaking with a local legend from Mullaloo, Rosco McGlashan. He wants to break that world land speed record. Next up, we're going to talk about the rocket, as Shane put it, the car itself, and the shed, the ultimate petrol head band cave.